check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. I'm laughing because it's been a minute and I'm nervous. In the midst of me pre-gaming, I was nervous. I was getting the jitters. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. But let's go. Let's get right into it.
If your appearance is your largest asset, you're going to do some whole shit.
Taste to Consider podcast. Yes, I am back. Taste to Consider podcast. Yes, yes, indeedy. We are back. Back for another episode. Yes. Taste to Consider podcast. I'm your host, Derek Silver. But let's officially introduce the show. It's a Taste to Consider podcast. I'm your host, Derek Silver, and we are back for another episode. Yes, back for another episode. Taste to Consider podcast. I know it has been a minute, but let me start right now by saying it is May. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so I hope and pray that everybody's mental health is in a good space, and if it's not, I hope that you are getting the help that you need. Y'all know mental health advocacy is very near and dear to me, so I talk about my struggles, my walk, my path, whatever you want to call it, a lot on this podcast, as well as on greatestiamblog.com. And I just hope everybody is doing well. It's just a lot going on in the world today. And I know it's a lot going on probably in people's lives, trying to figure out what's going on, trying to find their place in the world, trying to find their self and, relationships, partnerships, all that other stuff. Mental health can be very difficult to maintain and balance. So I hope, there's so many resources out there. So I hope everybody takes the time, if you feeling as though your mental health is not in the right space, that you take a step back and do what you need to get yourself right, and to get yourself in a place where when situations come up with your mental and emotional health, that you're able to, work through it, and you have tools in place or a routine in place that'll help you, get your head back above water, and just keep yourself in the right mindset to just know that when things happen, that there is always light at the end of the tunnel. I know that's like a cliche term, but it really is. When I sit back and think about my journey, my struggles, the things that I've gone through with general anxiety, social anxiety, and depression, looking back before I had tools in place, before I was going to therapy and stuff like that, it seemed like there was no end. It seemed like, I was just going down a road of no way out. But, I finally got to the point where I started going to therapy, started implementing routines and putting tools in place and stuff like that to help me balance and maintain and build up, break down the negative and the bad habits and stuff that was going on, trauma, things that I've learned over the years from childhood on up and before I started going to therapy and when I started going to therapy and, you know what I'm saying, putting stuff in place and learning things about myself, able to look back in the past and understand why I was doing this or why I was thinking this, why I was feeling this, why I was, doing things a certain way, then things started to, it was like the the meta the metaphor of a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. I was able to just morph myself into the person that I wanted to be, and I'm still working on that, to this day. And that's going to be a never-ending thing, I was talking to my barber today, and there's one thing you can always count on is change. Change will always be there, no matter what, And I thank God. I think, what I'm saying, that I found and I actually accepted the fact that, I had an illness and I started going to therapy. And, like I said, I'm still working on a lot of things, but I'm just glad that I got the self-awareness of what's actually going on with me so I can check myself. And, I still fall into a lot of old habits and old ways of thinking and feeling and stuff like that. But it's a process because, I'm 41 years old right now. I didn't start going to therapy until I was 31, 32. And I've been going to therapy ever since then, and just think about, all the things that I picked up from the age of 1 or whenever I can comprehend, let's say 4 or 5 years old, all the way up to the age of 31, 32. It's going to take some time to really, break habits and, change your way of thinking and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working on 10 years off of 20 something years, so I haven't even necessarily caught up if you're thinking of time and years. But, I'm in a much better place, much more confident, much more secure in myself, and I'm still building on that. And I thank God because the destructive things that I was doing in my 20s, yeah, I'm thankful to be here. I'm thankful to be here. But yeah, I'm back for another episode. It's really been a minute. Last episode, the Black Love bracket, I got a lot of great feedback on that. One of my best episodes I've ever done because, what I'm saying, I took myself out of the norm of the routine of talking about current events and mental health stuff and, Lord have mercy, relationships 50-50 and all that bullshit. But it was a good episode. I got a lot of great feedback from it, and I knew I would because I knew that the episode was going to be really good. I mean, and I'll be honest with you, like I was honest with myself. I wish it got much more attention. And that's one of the things that I struggle with a lot with this podcast. I know I'm great at this podcast thing. I know I have a great ass show. But, living in this world and popularities and going viral and shit like that. And like one of the things that I struggled with for a long time, because of me with my struggles with depression in the past and stuff, is comparing myself to people and all that stuff like that. I see a lot of bullshit ass content out here. And I ain't trying to go on nobody, but I'm being real. You know what I'm saying? For once in my life, I'm being real and confident about myself. It's a lot of trash ass shit out here. and my stuff is very good. Very good. I do a lot of work on this podcast and I do it all by myself. And that's one of the struggles and one of the struggles that I deal with, feeling burnt out at time and getting discouraged and stuff like that. I ain't gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know I keep it a buck on this podcast. But I do, you know what I'm saying? that's where some of the breaks come from. You know what I'm saying? The discouragement and feeling as though, why am I still doing this and stuff? Like, I'm about to be on year 4 in June. June 1st, year 4. But I really do know, I know and feel that I'm great at podcasting and stuff. Really good at putting shows together and stuff like that. But I'm still, like I said, I'm still working on myself. I'm still working through some of the negative and bad habits that I was used to and ways of thinking and stuff like that. But I'm pushing through. I'm pushing through. And that's why I always say, like, you know what I'm saying? Um, I need and I want, you know what I'm saying? I encourage the feedback and stuff like that, because I also, not only because it helps keep me going, but I also want to engage with people. I'm doing this podcast all by myself. I don't have a co-host or, you know what I'm saying? I don't have guests all the time. So I'm really doing a lot of this myself. And I'm not going to debate anybody, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like debating is a waste of time. It's about having conversations. I feel like a debate is all about competition and worrying about who's right and wrong. But I'm all about having conversations because it's a lot of people that, you know what I'm saying, I don't agree with everything they say. But I'm also going to be open to the things that they say. And there's a lot of people out here that, that I wouldn't necessarily hang out with. But some of the things that they say is relevant. You know what I'm saying? It's correct. And that's the same thing with me. That's what Taste to Consider podcast is all about. I don't expect everybody to agree with me or like the things that I say, but you can't deny some of the things that I say. So I'm giving you a taste of everything. And that has allowed me to, you know what I'm saying, be open to everybody else's taste. We shouldn't agree. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I talk about this all the time. I don't like followers. I don't like that following crap. I don't like being that, you know what I'm saying, that in that ant, having that ant mentality where everybody's following each other doing the same things. We are all different people. We all bring something to the table. So, even if I disagree with some of the things that you believe in or say and stuff like that, that ain't gonna make me feel any, you know what I'm saying? That's not gonna make me hate you or not want to follow you or not want to have a conversation with you or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? That's stupid to me. That's really stupid to me. You know what I'm saying? This world is so big, and the beauty of it to me is that everybody has different thoughts, feelings, experiences and stuff. So that's how you learn. You know what I'm saying? You never know who can change your perspective on something or can push you further based off of a conversation or an interaction and stuff like that. So, you know what I'm saying? Some people find beauty and fun in traveling. I love traveling. I just don't like the hassle of the actual traveling. Once you get there, everything cool, but I hate the hassle of traveling. But I'm the type of person that I love to learn. I love to get different people's perspectives and stuff like that. So, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of my vibe. You know what I'm saying? I love talking to people. I love learning new things, whether it's from a movie or a TV show or me taking a trip somewhere or having a random conversation or observing or people watching, whatever. I love that, So, yeah. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so I hope everybody is doing what they need to do for their mental health. It's a lot of tools out here. It's a lot of people out here on social media to follow and stuff like that give good tools. Watch out for them people that I talked about on this show, though. But yeah, it's funny because, man, I got back on Insta because I ain't been on social media either. Well, I've been on Twitter. I've been, messing around on Twitter. But I ain't been on Instagram like that. You know what I'm saying? I've slowly been falling off of Instagram. Instagram has been a tool mostly for the podcast. And I got on Instagram today while I was doing the pre-gaming and stuff. And for people who actually follow me on my main page and my podcast page, y'all know how I post stuff in for the pregame of the current episode that I'm going to record. And I was on that John lost. I'm like, all these new tools and ways of doing things. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I was so confused and lost. I felt like an older person. You know what I'm saying? But I got back in the flow of it pretty quickly. But yeah, I was kind of thrown off by some of the new ways of doing things on Instagram. Yeah, so the show that I got for you today, some of the stuff is from topics and current events from, not even current events, events from weeks or even months ago. But it all, excuse me, burp number one, it all lines up. So this show is titled Predators. Already, burp number two, already had a title for the show. Burp number three, already had a title for the show and everything. You know what I'm saying? Because this part of the show was already done before I finished the last show, but I just didn't record. So, you know what I'm saying? I picked up and added some things to it that was relevant. But this show is titled Predators. And first, let me read the definition of predator. There's several definitions. Let me see. Let me pull this up. Like I said, it's been a minute. Let me see. Okay. This is from Merriam-Webster. It says, this is the first definition. An organism that primarily obtains food by the killing and consuming of other organisms. An organism that lives by predation. An animal that preys on other animals. Definition 2. One who injures or exploits others for personal gain or profit. So that's the one that I want to focus on. That second one, the second definition. One who injures or exploits others for personal gain or profit. But let me go to another website, this dictionary.com, and read this definition. Of course, the first one, it says zoology, any organism that exists by preying upon other organisms. Definition 2, a person or group that plunders, pillages, or robs as in war. Number 3, a person, group, or business that exploits, victimizes, or preys on others. 4, an overbearing, greedy, or selfish person. So, I'm not surprised by the definition, the definitions after the first one. I mean, we expect the first definition, the zoology one, when it comes to predators. Because when you think about predators, for one, you're going to think about the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. But you're going to think about nature. You're going to think about the wild. You're going to think about lions attacking gazelles. You're going to think about whatever animal, cheetah attacking some other prey or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you think about. And we look at that as, you know what I'm saying, that being nature. That's natural. You know what I'm saying? That is their nature. That is what they do. So we look at it like certain animals are predators, and then they have their prey, even with like insects and stuff like that. But we never really think about predators in the form of humans, of us. I mean, there are instances where we use the term predator for a human, like older men or women who are preying on young children and stuff like that. That's when we really focus on it, like pedophilia and stuff like that. But we kind of like let it go after that. You know, we don't look at it in all terms of of human behavior. And I was sitting here thinking, like, the whole few weeks that I wasn't recording about this episode, and predators, 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 and looking at these definitions. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, damn, we are all, each and every human on this planet is a predator in some form or fashion based off of these other definitions. So, starting with the second one, a person or group that plunders, pillages, or robs, as in war. So we know we used to war, especially over in the United States. Shit, this whole world is, we have plenty of stories of war, of pillaging, robbing land, people, money, all of that. We understand that, right? So the third one, and I don't think this is something that we normally associate with the term predator, but it's part of the definition. Third definition, a person, group, or business that exploits, victimizes, or preys on others. And one of the examples they use is a sexual predator who targets children. But another example that they use that you don't hear a lot in the mainstream is corporate. It says corporate predators who go after smaller rivals. So what's key is the last definition. It's not more important than the other two that I just read, but I feel like it's key because I feel like it applies to the ordinary human being, an overbearing, greedy, or selfish person. We don't really associate a selfish person or a greedy person or overbearing person to a predator. So I was sitting here, you know what I'm saying, going through getting the episode together earlier today, and I'm sitting here thinking, like, we always think of, you know, nature and the animals and insects and stuff like that, that's their nature. There are predators and there's prey. That's, you know what I'm saying, that's the food chain, so to speak. But I was sitting here like, is that our true nature? Or is that what we become based off of the greed, the selfishness and stuff like that? Is it, you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here asking myself, I'm like, at some point in time, I was a predator. And the many a weeks that went by that I wasn't recording and I was thinking about this episode, I'm sitting here going through certain scenarios in my life. I'm like, damn, based off of this definition, I was a predator in this scenario. This situation, I was a predator in this situation. I was a predator there. I was a predator there. And then I started thinking about situations and looking at the people who have done stuff to me. So that person was considered a predator. That person was a predator. That person was a predator. And just thinking all throughout history, like, damn, is that our true nature? That might be our true nature. Because it just didn't start in the 2000s. It just didn't start in the 1900s. It just didn't start in the 1800s. It didn't start in the 1700s. It didn't start in the 1600s. On and on and on. If you believe that what's in the Bible is true, this shit was going on from the beginning of time. Predators. So is this our true nature? Damn. Is this our true nature? So, moving along to the some of the topics. So, like I said, some of these topics, you know what I'm saying, aren't current events. They past stuff. But it applies to the episode. And I'm just having a conversation. I'm not. Let me just start. So, one of the past events that happened that I missed out on talking in the current space was the Jonathan Majors stuff. So we all know who Jonathan Majors is. He's an actor. He was in the Creed 3. He was in Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumanium playing Kane. And he had the incident with his girlfriend, a white young lady. And what the report is that they got into a fight in a cab. She saw something on his phone and was trying to grab his phone, and they got into an issue, an altercation or whatever. So Jonathan Majors is going through all of that right now. And of course, it was going to be a mixed bag of conversation. You know, Jonathan Majors is a black man. He was dealing with a white woman. And I've touched on this plenty of times before. That's a dangerous situation because how I feel in these type of situations, a white woman can be the most dangerous person to a black man. And we've had plenty of examples throughout history that prove that. I'm not saying that, you know what I'm saying, he shouldn't have been with a white woman or, you know, all that other stuff. I'm all for people doing whatever the hell they want to do. So that's not necessarily the issue for me. But in these situations where a black man has gotten to some sort of altercation or anything, physical altercation, verbal altercation, whatever, with a white woman, it is very dangerous. And you're going to have people looking at you as you are a predator. I mean, black people, particularly black men, are looked at as predators. I mean, you had damn, what's the movie from a long time ago? The Birth of a Nation. Birth of a Nation. Which was, even though it was a cinematic film, it was basically a warning and a propaganda piece for the white community to let them know that black men are dangerous. So it's always, that's one of the reasons why I feel like, you know, black men have to be careful about dating outside of their race, because we are all already looked at it as predators. I mean, we're getting shot down on the street every day without warning. So we're looked at as a threat already. And when you put yourself in a situation where you're dating outside your race, if any type of situation happens, or even if it don't happen, and the person you're involved, the woman you're involved with, says something happens, more than likely you're going to be guilty before proven innocent. And then there's still a stretch. So we don't know the facts of it. You know what I'm saying? All of it is a lot of speculation. But we have to be honest in saying that Jonathan Majors looks very guilty just based off of the narrative that's being pushed and what we always know to be true. True in terms of true examples of situations where a black man is dealing with a white woman, or a white woman is accusing the black man of something. So prayers to that man. I hope, you know what I'm saying, he gets through it. Whether it's true or not, he should get help or stay away from, you know what I'm saying, these type of situations. And, you know, I would say let this be an example for other black men, but like I said, I'm not one to tell somebody else what to do, but it should be very plain to see, especially when you're in a position of being an entertainer or athlete or something like that, that, you know what I'm saying, you got to be careful with these situations. You got to be careful with these situations. Yeah, he's been dropped from his agency, from movie projects already, ad campaign and all that other stuff. Like, so he's already guilty before anything has even happened. Like the trial hasn't even happened yet. I know they had a preliminary hearing, but there hasn't been like a trial. But he's already guilty in the eyes of, you know, the public. So moving on from that, the Dalai Lama, the Dalai Lama, boy, how they make shit so normal. Well, they try to at least, and we just let it slide. So the Dalai Lama got into some shit when, um, excuse me, I know y'all heard. Damn. Um, he had an interaction with a young boy where they called it a tongue greeting, quote unquote tongue greeting, and this is supposed to be normal in their culture. And what's funny was it said the Dalai Lama's defenders say the criticism that he received from this interaction was westernized. And I find that funny because, like, it definitely, to me, it wasn't westernized for the simple fact that it'd be a lot of weird ass pedophilia, predator shit going on over here in the West already. You know, I know other countries have their cultures and different cultures and their different ways of doing things or whatever, but this is too far. Like, even when you sit here and think about this situation and you start thinking about the Catholic priest or whatever, it's all some bullshit. It's all some bullshit where they claim it's their culture, or they let shit slide and give people slaps on the wrist for stuff because they have this label or this title or whatever. And that's why I say I hate labels and titles and shit, because these people are just regular ass people, and we've had plenty of examples that we just let slide and let go of them doing some dirty ass shit. Like, come on now, this dirty ass tongue greeting with kids. Nah, that can't fly with me. But he got his supporters and they're defending it. You know, from the time this happened, when did this happen? Like in early April. And you ain't heard nothing about it. This is what, May 18th? You ain't heard nothing about it since then. And that's why I say we just let shit slide, because we always worried about some MAGA or some Trump stuff or some 50-50 stuff or some relationship stuff or whatever we get distracted by. We just let shit slide like this. And then we wonder what's going on when it's too late and we can't really do nothing about it. We already so entrenched into the bullshit that we can't pull ourselves up. Or people just so blinded by it or just don't care that it's just like, whatever, we'll just let this shit slide right now. But this is some weird ass shit. This is some pedophilia ass shit for him to be doing this type of stuff. Another example of a predator. And we usually see this predatory shit when it comes to people with these titles or these high regards and all this other stuff. And we just let this shit slide because we're so enamored and so in awe of them because they have a title. And this just and this really goes for like people who really call themselves like Christians and stuff like that and believe in God and stuff. It's a lot of false idolatry going on. You know what I'm saying? We sit here and just have these idols, these regular ass human beings or whatever, and they be doing the most foul shit, whether, you know what I'm saying, whether it comes out in the moment or it comes out later, and we just still give them a pass. It's cool to have grace. I understand having grace. But when it's extremes like this, I feel like, nah, there really can't be no grace. But that's just my, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, that's just my taste. That's just my taste. I feel like kids and children and You know what I'm saying? Certain animals that can't really defend themselves, or you know what I'm saying, have the mindset of knowing what's right and wrong. They can be easily groomed and stuff like that. That you can't give people a slide on that. That's predatory shit. But moving along from that, let me relight my cigar. This is a good cigar. This cigar right here is a Boa Vita. This is 85 cigars. This is one of the Ocho Cinco cigars. Chad Johnson, football player, former football player for the Cincinnati Bengals. I got a couple of his cigars, and I like this one right here. I'm also drinking some Hennessy. Yes, some Hennessy. I know it's been a while since, you know what I'm saying, I pointed out like what I'm drinking and smoking for the show, other than when I posted on social media. But there's a reason for that. And you'll see when it happens. And you'll know why when it happens. But this is a good cigar. All right, so FreakNik. FreakNik documentary. This junk was going crazy early April. Early April, people was going crazy about the news of Hulu coming out with a FreakNik documentary, and I think it's supposed to come out in 2024. And just sitting back and looking at all the posts and the commentary, comments and stuff about the FreakNik documentary, and I've never been to FreakNik, but I know about it. I've seen videos from it and all that other stuff. um, but it was interesting seeing a lot of the commentary, the comments and stuff from black men and black women or whatever. And what I found interesting was, even though a lot of, you know what I'm saying, there was some spaces where people were being playful about it and stuff like that because they were there and stuff like that. But then you started seeing then the divide between black women and black men started taking shape in that space. You started seeing like people talking about the predatory nature of the black men that was at FreakNik against the black women that were there and all that other stuff. And I found that so interesting because nobody told those black women to go to FreakNik. And I'm not sitting here pushing the behavior that was going on, because when it comes down to it, when people take out their projections and all that other stuff out of this situation, the black men and the black women that was at FreakNik were both engaged in that behavior. That overly sexualized behavior. It wasn't no one-sided situation. Not saying that certain people, whether black men or black women, wasn't going overboard or going too far or taking it to an extreme, because I understand that that was happening. But you do open yourself up to the extreme. Excuse me, burp number 5. When you place yourself in that position and you are participating in it. And that's key right there. When I say participating in it, that means when you're walking around, showing your titties, showing your ass, showing your vagina, all that other stuff, you have to understand that there's going to be situations where things might get out of hand. And I'm not victim shaming or blaming anybody, but let's be real. I'm not talking about the women who just went there, because they wanted to hang out with their girls or whatever. I'm not talking about the fellas who went out there because they was hanging out with the fellas. I'm talking about the people who are actively participating in the debauchery, the over-sexualized behavior during this FreakNik. It was interesting because Let me see. There's this particular post, and excuse me, burp number 6. I'm all out for this episode. It says social media going to rename the FreakNik documentary, quote, "Surviving Black Men," end quote, with think pieces from people who were never there. And this is where I said where the divide between black men and black women started taking shape in that space, because it's only being one-sided with the commentary or the disdain for the people who were actively participating in the over-sexualized nature of FreakNik. Like I said, I'm not talking about the people who just came there just to hang out and all that other stuff. I'm talking about the people who actively participating in the overly sexualized nature of the FreakNik. If you can't understand what I'm saying and you still want to see that or think that I'm victim blaming anybody who was sexually assaulted or whatever, then that's your problem, because that's not what I'm saying. But anyways, this divide already between black men and black women, and you know what I'm saying, and it's not all black men and black women. It's certain groups or whatever who have gone through stuff, who have experienced stuff that haven't healed or gotten through certain trauma. This is men and women. But they will only see it one-sided. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not sitting here trying to defend the dudes that was down there doing what they was doing. But I have a problem when it comes to you labeling every black man as the select few that was down at FreakNik. Because FreakNik wasn't that big. Even though I wasn't down there, I knew what was going on, and I knew the amount of, you know what I'm saying, the crowds and the amount of people. Every black man isn't a predator. Every black man isn't overly sexualized. Same thing with women. Every black woman isn't overly sexualized and stuff like that. So we got to use our heads and understand that this was a pocket of a certain group of people, black men and black women, who were down there doing this. But I will not lie and sit here and think that, you know what I'm saying, I'm not concerned about women and certain black women retroactively criminalizing all black men for what a certain group of black men did down there. And even for black men, all black men, to look at all black women a certain way because of a certain group of black women that went down there and did what they did. But this is a, you know what I'm saying, this documentary, you know, we sitting here celebrating and having fun and jokes about it. But we really missing the point that is showing the dysfunction that's within our community and our culture of us being too damn overly sexual. And this is coming from me, you know what I'm saying? I love some sexual activity, but we got to be honest that a lot of the stuff that we call culture, and when we think about movies, music videos, and stuff like that, this shit is overly sexualized and it shapes us. You know, I'd be lying and say that when I was younger, that this stuff didn't make me overly horny and want to be trying to have sex at a young age. You know what I'm saying? And you can't even get away from it now, like on social media. Every time I will open up Instagram, ass and titties everywhere. I'm like, damn, can I get a break? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get away from the shit, you know what I'm saying? So I can control, you know what I'm saying, my hormones and my way of thinking. And it's ass and titties everywhere. Ass and titties everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the thing now. You know, women make money off of that. OnlyFans, social media, all of that. It's all about showing ass and titties. You wouldn't think that these women have nothing else to offer to the world but ass and titties. Like most recently, you know, I said I've been spending a lot of time on Twitter or whatever. Is I saw black women on Twitter arguing about whose jiggle was real. And when I say jiggle, I mean the jiggle from their thighs and their ass. Natural jiggle, like from them just walking or moving. Whose is real and whose wasn't. Like this is the place that we're at. Like we're in the gutter. We in the gutter. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and I'm not blaming it all on black women because when it comes down to it, us, even though there's a lot of black women out here that, you know what I'm saying, do it to compete against other black women. But at the same time, us black men being so damn thirsty and horny all the damn time is pushing it, you know? And it's just sad to see, like, I be on Twitter and I just be saying dudes commenting on women's pictures and videos, and the women don't even be paying attention to them, don't even be responding to them. I just be like, bruh, why is y'all doing that? Y'all making yourselves look like a fool. Making yourselves look like a fool. But yeah, it's like a continuous circle, continuous cycle. Like we went from marching in the streets wearing suits and ties and dresses and hats and being in church and with the suits and ties and hats, from now walking down the street with booty shorts and skinny jeans and being up in church with tight dresses and showing your cleavage and stuff like that. I mean, it's just wild. It's like this is what we think of ourselves. It's like it got worse. Like I was born in 1981. Yeah, 1981. And just to see the progression of things as I've gotten older, in my 41 years on this earth, in our quote unquote culture and community, that we've just further progressed into overly sexualization as opposed to unity. Yeah, but and then what kills me about the whole situation, you'll have your blackity black woke people and all that other stuff, man, sit here talking about something. Well, I hope they make a documentary about the girls gone wild and all that other stuff. And that just shows you that a lot of these blackity black woke people and conspiracy theorists, they don't do a lot of reading and research, because there have been plenty of documentaries out on, well, I ain't going to say plenty, but I've seen documentaries and docuseries on Girls Gone Wild and the impact that it had on just pop culture, period. And I'm just like, we spend too much time instead of fixing the shit that we got to fix within our community and our culture, and use it on comparing ourselves to what white people doing or what they did, done, or whatever. And I'm just like, bruh, we're just never gonna get up out the pits because we too consumed on stuff that doesn't directly affect us. But like I said, it ain't gonna end, because like even like a couple of months ago, they had something down in Houston called the Mocha Festival. I saw videos from that Mocha Festival. This was just like a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. Niggas was having sex out in the open, giving head both ways. I mean, it's like, what the hell is wrong with us black people, bruh? Like, my personal opinion on it is that we so far from human connection, human intimacy, love, and true love, and you know what I'm saying, affection and stuff, that sex is the easiest thing for, is like a quick fix for us to connect with another human being, or even feel as though that we have some worth. You know what I'm saying? We get a quick fix to our self-esteem from engaging in these sexual acts without no type of no type of knowledge of, you know what I'm saying, what the other person's sexual history is, or their their health, physical health, or anything. It's just like niggas just be wilding out. I just, man, niggas be wilding out. It's not funny, but I'm just like, come on, man. But I got a clip. I actually recorded myself in reference to this, so I'm gonna play this clip. And yeah, I don't even remember, because I recorded this clip like when all of this happened, like in early April. So I don't even remember what I said in this clip, but I'm gonna play it anyway. I was driving while I was recording it, so here we go. Those events like FreakNik, spring break, bike week, and all that other shit. Those type of events invited. They pulled predators in. You know what I'm saying? Niggas that looking for some quick ass, or niggas that really can't get ass. Women that needed some quick attention, or just wanted to wild out because they going through some things, type don't know how to control their emotion type shit. Those type of events was for predators. And a lot of those women that was there, they would have prayed because they mentally wasn't there, wasn't emotionally stable, and all that other stuff. So it was like a breeding ground for that shit. It was full of lions and gazelles. I'm looking at the video. I'm like, damn, where was I going? But yeah, I mean, and it's not just the women that couldn't control their emotions and all that other stuff. From honestly, and I talked about this before on another platform before, when I was a guest on somebody else's platform, about how most men, we're so used to connecting sexually because that's all we know. You know what I'm saying? We weren't raised to be in touch with our feelings and our emotions. So the only thing that we had was sex. So, like I already said about the dudes down there that couldn't really get ass, or, you know what I'm saying, or that was just, you know what I'm saying, a quick way to get some butt or whatever. A lot of these dudes down there was just overly sexualized. Their emotions and their feelings were so suppressed that was just quick satisfaction for them. And some of them was just, some of them was just probably pervs and just straight predators, honestly. But yeah, I mean, that's why I say, in those, like the FreakNik specifically, that people who are actively, that shit was a breeding ground for that shit. You know what I'm saying? That overly sexualized activity. That was a breeding ground for that. Let me see. Yeah. But let me move on to this Cardi B situation. And this is kind of like, this situation right here is sort of new, but also it is something from the past as well when it comes to Cardi B's life. So I had some clips. Let me pull up these clips. But let me read this first. It says Cardi B responds to allegations about her after receiving backlash for a tweet about predators. Quote, robbing and raping is two different type of shit, so don't fucking call me no rapist or predator. Don't play with my name like that. See, but when you read the definitions of a predator, it says a person, group, or business that exploits, victimizes, or preys on others. An overbearing, greedy, or selfish person. A group, a person or group that plunders, pillages, or robs, as in war. So she was getting the backlash from when she talked about back in the day when she was a stripper and how she used to rob dudes. She used to, you know what I'm saying, act like she was going to go to the hotel or the home or whatever to sleep with them or whatever. And she would drug them and sleep with them. Not sleep with them, but she would drug them and then rob them. So let me pull these clips up. And this is why I say we got to start. That's why I say words are important. We always talk about actions. Actions are important, but words are just important because those words have some definitions behind them that really matter. So let me pull up the clip. Let me pull up because there's a couple of clips. Let me see if I can find. I know they kind of like out of order when I saved them. Let me see. Here we go. All right, let me see. I think this is just the post right here. I don't think this is the video, but I do. Okay. Here we go. Let me play this.
Oh, bitch, you're the.
They might be out of order, but it don't matter. It's all relevant. Now here we go.
So I put the tweet up, right? I put the tweet up, and now people want to come at me like, oh, bitch, you're the wrong messenger. You're the wrong messenger. Then you rob and drug man. And it's like, listen. Y'all not going to keep doing this because when it comes to fucking weird-ass predators and rapists and pedophiles and shit, I'm really like, I don't play that shit. I really don't fucking play that shit. And for y'all to like trying to say that I'm like some predator or I'm some weird bitch because niggas wanted to buy pussy from me. And a lot of y'all be like, oh, these were vulnerable men you took advantage of. These were not no fucking vulnerable men. These are some freak ass niggas that like to go to the strip club. That like to get drunk. And after the fucking club is closed, they trying to fucking take advantage of bitches and trying to bargain. No, nigga. I'm gonna go through them fucking pockets. And then y'all be like, you drug and rob them. Did I touch their body? Did I touch their penis? Did I touch their ass? Did I touch them? Did I put my lips on them? No. No type of fucking touching. Don't confuse. And even if y'all claim, oh, you robbed them, what's robbing and raping is? Two different type of shit. So don't fucking call me no rapist. Don't call me no fucking predator. Don't fucking play with my name like that because I don't play that shit. And because of that tweet, people talking about like, oh, but you the wrong messenger. How am I the wrong messenger, bitch? I'm the right messenger because I'm a fucking mom. I'm a fucking mom. And I'm a fucking woman. And I'm a girl that as a teenager, my body got abused. I don't talk about that shit because it's like.
And I'm not arguing anything. I don't know the specifics of her life or anything like that, but we have to be honest. Like a lot of people who are predators, they were prey at one point, and this is a clear example of that. And I love Cardi B or whatever, but I think we have to be careful and understand the definitions of what a predator is. Yeah, she may not have raped anybody, but according to the definition, she was a predator. She knew the men. She knew what men to go after, what men to rob or whatever, and do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. Look, I'm not no judge. I ain't no jury. I'm just pointing out the facts that are given to me. And the definition of a predator and what Cardi B is describing lines up very well. And I still love Cardi B. Point blank and period. But I think this is also a clear example of, you hear a lot of these women out here who's, you know what I'm saying, selling their bodies and showing off their bodies and stuff, talking about their mothers or whatever. But you are being kind of selfish because your kids are going to have to deal with this. And I'm just going to leave it there and I'm going to play the clip. Play the rest of the clip.
That's another story for another time. But just the whole fact that it's like, for y'all to even try me because I want y'all to protect y'all children because y'all need to be more careful with y'all kids. Y'all fucking sick, and it makes me feel like y'all party predators y'all fucking self.
So the tweet that she had, it says the world is full of predators. They prey on the innocent, the ones who are most unknowing, our children. Predators could be our neighbors, our school teachers, even people with money, power, and our churches. Constantly talk with your kids about boundaries and what they shouldn't allow people to do to them. And I wholeheartedly agree with her. But I still believe, based off of the definition, that at one point in Cardi B's life, she would be considered a predator. Look. The way I see things, we are all of everything. We've all been predators. We've all been cheaters. We've all been liars. We've all been bad people, whatever. These labels are aspects of our life. These labels may describe certain points in our lives, but is it really us? That's what you will have to ask yourself. I can't say that for you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not with you 24/7. I'm with myself 24/7. I have lied. I have cheated. I have done things that have been predatory based off of the definition. But I know damn well I'm not a cheater. I'm not a liar. And I'm not a predator. I may have done them things. We always look at things in a black and white situation. Oh, this person is good. This person is bad. But that is not true. All people have done good things. All people have done bad things. Are there some people out here that are just some evil ass people? Hell yeah. You may have, that is the anomaly in this world. There are some people that just are just straight up evil. That every step they take is all about them. That's where you get the term the narcissist and stuff like that. And there's some people out here that will portray that they are overly good. That's where you get the term the people pleasers and stuff like that. There are extremes on both sides. You know what I'm saying? There's extremely hot and cold. There's extremely black and white. There's extremely whatever. But what's in the middle? What's the gray area? We all have moments in our lives where we done things that we weren't proud of and, that may have made us look bad in the eyes of somebody else. But is that really who we are, Now, I think there's another clip with the Cardi B stuff. But yeah, like I said, I still got love for Cardi B. But at some point, she would be considered a predator based off of the definition. But I don't look down on her or anything like that. But I think a lot of times, like I already said in the beginning, like I can't. It's difficult for me to give grace to people who go out their way to do things to people who can't defend themselves, whether it's elderly or kid, young kids and stuff like that. That's where I kind of draw the line. I know I may be wrong in that, but I know that there's similar thinking out there. I come from the old school way of thinking. You leave the women, children, and old folks alone. But here's the other clip.
So I'm getting in here because, all right, just so y'all see that I'm not lying, I'm gonna post this screenshot, right? So me and one of my high school friends, we don't really talk much, but sometimes we do be speaking.
Yeah, I had the clips out of order, but here we go. Just so you can get the full range of everything that she said based off of this topic, because I don't want to leave nothing out with this. cause she be suing podcasters. Granted, I ain't popular enough for her to sue me. I hope not. But yeah, I'm just yeah.
And like she is really like she's really like a conspiracy. She's like a very woke person. Sometimes she believes certain conspiracy, and sometimes we will debate about it. But it's crazy because we was just talking about how fucking sick there's like a lot of predators out there, and like we both are mothers. She got 3 kids and I got 2 kids, and we was just talking about predators, and we was just talking about how like predators and fucking people that like desire kids are like literally everywhere. Like it could be your next door neighbors, it could be teachers, it could be a bum in the street, and it could also be a fucking billionaire. It could be a mayor. It could be a person that runs a church. Actually, a lot of times it's a lot of people that take advantage of religion, and they will take advantage of religion, and because they have that power, they will take advantage of our children. And you know what they are? People that are always running these religions and these beliefs, they're usually men. But don't get it twisted, there's a lot of freaky women. So
She right. Like, you know, it is mostly men. But yeah, there is a lot of freak ass women out here. I mentioned it once in a while that, you know what I'm saying, my first sexual experience was with a woman when I was young. young. Um yeah, that was my first sexual experience, and that's why I feel like in my early years I feel like that's why I was over I had a little more I was a little more overly sexualized because of the experience that I had at the age of 5, 6 years old with a woman. You know what I'm saying? Um, but let me play the rest of the clips. But she right though, it's some freaky ass women out here that would do some trash ass shit. But it is mostly men, and it's men in power.
thing. We was literally like talking about it. Like we was just literally like talking about it. I'll take it off now. So me and my friend was literally talking about it last night. I'll take it off. I want to take it off. And then this morning, or when I got off the plane, I see this guy, I don't know what he is. I don't know if he's like a monk or a spiritualist, whatever the fuck. I see that he kissed a boy on his mouth, and it's just like, damn, this is just go back to the
I'm sure she talking
that
about
I
the
just
Dalai
had
Lama
yesterday.
at
Like
this
it's
point.
like some people
'Cause
take
this was around the
advantage
same
of
time.
religion and start doing perverted things to our children. So I posted a tweet about it, right? So I posted a tweet about it because it's just like, yo, we really have to protect our kids.
And I don't think she a hypocrite for coming out and say all this stuff when she had her past, because that's what I give grace for. You learn from your experiences or whatever, and she may not understand or see herself at that moment as being a predator because of what she gone through, and I give her grace for that as well. You know what I'm saying? She probably had so many situations where men have been predators towards her or whatever, so she look at it like, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna get mine's back, you know. So I get that. So I will not shame her or anything like that. But at the same time, like I said, a lot of times when there's a lot of people out here that are predators, they usually had a predatory situation when in their past somewhere.
Any way possible, and we have to like let our kids know to be alert and like know that there's a violation when people touch your private parts, when it comes to family, when it talks to friends, when it comes to teachers, or when it comes to other kids. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some kids that are more advanced than others. So I put the tweet up, right? I put the tweet up, and now people want to come at me like, oh, bitch, you're the wrong messenger. You're the wrong messenger. Then you rob and drug man. And it's like, listen. Y'all not going to keep doing this, because when it comes to fucking weird-ass predators and rapists and pedophiles and shit, I'm really like, I don't play that shit. I really don't fucking play that shit. And for y'all to like trying to say that I'm like some predator or I'm some weird bitch because niggas wanted to buy pussy from me, and a lot of y'all be like, oh,
All right,
these
so
were
we heard
vulnerable
this
men.
clip. Let me move
Touch
on.
their ass? Did I touch them? Did I put my lips on them? No. No type of fucking touching. Don't confuse. And even if y'all claim, oh, you robbed them, what's robbing and raping is? Two different type of shit. So don't fucking call me no rapist. Don't call me no fucking predator. Don't fucking play with my name like that because I don't play that shit. And because of that tweet, people talking about like, oh, but you the wrong messenger. How am I the wrong messenger, bitch? I'm the right messenger because I'm a fucking mom. I'm a fucking mom. And I'm a fucking woman. And I'm a girl that as a teenager, my body got abused. I don't talk about that shit because it's like, that's another story for another time. But just the whole fact that it's like, for y'all to even try me because I want y'all to protect y'all children because y'all need to be more careful with y'all kids. Y'all fucking sick. And it makes me feel like y'all party predators y'all fucking self. The fuck? There's a lot of weird shit that be going the fuck on. That as you get older and as you get wiser, you see that like we live in a very freaky ass world.
Yeah, she right about that. And I know people probably like, you want to talk because of all the videos you making, but I mean, she would know just as good as anybody, you know. Sex sales and the industry that she's in, that's what you got to do, you know. I feel like all of us are contradictions, so I will not sit here and shame her for saying this but doing that because hey, shit, we are all contradictions. We are all contradictions. Nobody out here living holier than thou. Nobody. Um, I don't know, man. It's always interesting that, you know what I'm saying, we see the shit, we know the shit going on, but we'll act like it's not going on. We'll debate somebody about it going on, or we'll tell them that they're being a conspiracy theorist or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? But the shit be right in front of our face. And I think it's just like we don't want to deal with the truth, so we'll act like it's not happening, or we'll fight somebody else for bringing it to us or whatever. So I don't know, but like I pay attention to this shit. Like, you know, I'm a quote unquote conspiracy theorist, but I honestly say that I'm just a critical thinker. You know what I'm saying? Do I overly question some things at times? Yes, I do, but I rather overly question some things than just follow along and just go behind what's being said or what's being told to me or what I'm seeing and stuff like that. But all for Cardi B, I got love for Cardi B or whatever. So yeah, it's a show on Netflix, very popular show called Beef. There's an actor that's on. I didn't watch the show, but I saw all the controversy around one of the actors from the show. And this actor is called David Choe. And it says, this is where I first saw this on Twitter. And this is from BuzzFeedNews.com. It says, Twitter removed a viral video of Beef actor David Choe seemingly describing a graphic rape because he filed a copyright claim. His co-stars and friends have not yet commented, nor have producers, Netflix, or A24. Beef is the #2 show on Netflix right now. So, I got the clip. The clip was on Twitter. It's funny. They say he's been successful in getting the clip off, but the clip is still on Twitter. I have the clip. He's actually been suing people for the clip. But he described himself raping a 14-year-old black girl. So you know I'm going to have an issue with that because it's a black girl. And this is predatory behavior. So Let me pull up the clip. The last time I checked, it was still on there. I checked earlier today, it was still on there. But we about to see right now. Whether it's on there or not, he still sat there on a podcast talking about how he raped a black girl. And he tried to make it seem as though after the fact, when he started getting backlash from it, he's tried to make it seem as though that it was just a story. Like it was a fictional story. It was an imagination. But here we go. Let me see if it's still on here. What do you know? It's still on here. Good job. Okay, so let me play this.
That's what achieved the
Here we go.
thrill of possibly going to jail. You know,
Excites you.
that's what achieved the erection quest. The getting the
Ew,
thing.
you're basically telling us that you're a rapist now. And the only way to get your dick really hard is rape.
Yeah.
What does she look like?
Like beautiful, like half.
Like, how would you describe her?
Half black, half white.
Like a Leona Lewis.
Long curly hair.
How old?
Big titties.
Huge titties.
What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Huge real titties.
Who cares what she looks like? Dave is telling us he's a rapist.
Oh, you're
success-
What did she look like?
She's sitting there saying what she's saying, but she's still sitting there. Like, either it's a joke to you or it's real or what. Like, they sitting there having this powwow, this laugh, this sit down of, you know what I'm saying, free conversation as if this is okay. Even the quote unquote devil's advocate in the room, or the person who has some morals and values in the room, is still sitting there. It's no way. But yeah.
How long was her hair?
A successful rapist.
So she's still participating in the conversation. She's sitting here talking about them. Who cares what she looked like? But then after the fact, she asks what color was her hair. Like, but this is the norm right here. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to Hollywood, the entertainment business and shit like that, this is what you're going to get. Everything is behind money, or, you know, everything is behind their celebrity culture, where we don't know really what's going on. We hear things and we see certain things, you know what I'm saying, when stuff finally comes out, but we still support, you know what I'm saying, this element or these people, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, this dude's name is David Choe. He's an actor on the Netflix show Beef. And it says David Choe, actor on the Netflix show Beef, had previously spoken on a podcast about being, quote, a successful rapist, end quote, a direct quote. Choe successfully DCMA apostrophe D. See, I don't know what that means. But yeah. It's not funny, but yeah. This is the stuff that we let go. This is the stuff that we just pass on by or whatever. I think this is the same clip. I think I might have had this up here twice, but I'm gonna play it again just to get it ingrained. So here we go.
But the thrill of possibly going to jail, you know,
Excites you.
that's what achieved the erection quest. The getting the
Ew,
thing.
you're basically telling us that you're a rapist now. And the only way to get your dick really hard is rape.
Yeah.
What does she look like?
Like beautiful, like half.
Like, how would you describe her?
Half black, half white.
Like a Leona Lewis.
Long curly hair.
But this is what I was saying about earlier with the FreakNik documentary. There's some niggas out here that just can't get women. There's some niggas out here that can't get women. They can't get ass or whatever. So they prey on people that's easily attainable, easily groomed, easily wowed by fame or money and such.
How old?
Big titties.
Huge titties.
What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Huge real titties.
Who cares what she looks like? Dave is telling us he's a rapist.
Oh, you're
What did she look like? How long was her hair?
A successful rapist.
You heard him right there. Successful rapist. Like, this is just normal conversation for them. And some people just think they're untouchable. It would just be out in the open, you know?
Me and my wife's situation is a little different, you know, how we met, you know, through mutual friends and everything like that. You know, when I met my wife, she was 17. So, you know, we had no really conversation and no really connection until, you know, she was of age. And, you know, people don't understand it. And I got a lot of course, I got a lot of backlash for marrying someone that was 19. And, you know, when we did.
Yeah, it's hard for me to understand. Marques Houston is 41 just like I am. There's no way that I would be with her at this current point. He married her when she was 19. Right now she's 22. He's 41. There's no way that I can imagine myself being with a 22-year-old. I can't even imagine myself being with a 32-year-old.
Finally started to talk, I was like, this woman is like me. And she was just like, when I would talk to her, she just, for one, we had a spiritual connection. And I feel like that's the most important thing. We both love God. We both love Jehovah. And that was key.
What Cardi B said, using that religion, boy.
And being able to start being around her and talking to like, we got it. We connected through music, and you know, her spirit, her kindness, her heart reminds me a lot of my mom, and just, you know, we connected on so many different.
Yeah. So you see, we won't believe, but this just ain't no celebrity thing. I mean, when you think about it, and this speaks to, you know, the history of the world. I mean, whether you rich or poor, we've known plenty of instances where older men have married younger women. Shit, we got a whole movie on it, Color Purple. Think about The Color Purple, and that was a black movie. And think about Your Black Family for the black listeners, and think about period in the world, how they do things. Burp number 7 and 8. Think about the arranged marriages and shit like that. And just think about wealthy white men and all that other stuff. This isn't nothing new. Like, older men who have power or feel as though that they have power, they will date younger women because these women are easily controllable. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to deal with stuff. You can easily groom these women and stuff like that. So this is predatory behavior, right? You know what I'm saying? You probably got some man in your family that at some point married a younger woman, whether it's centuries ago or whatever. Like, I've gone deep into my ancestry, and I've had a family member back in the 18 or 1700s, I think it was the 1800s, that married, he was 30 years old at the time, married a 15-year-old. Like, I seen the records of it, you know? So this is not something new. Like, I think we've gotten so conditioned to this shit that we look at it as being normal. Like, we'll raise a stink about it now in the current space that we're in, the current climate that we're in, but then we'll let it go. You know? But I got another clip of myself. I made another clip of myself a while ago, so I'm gonna play this. I don't remember what it's about, but we'll see. We won't believe these stories about this pedophilia stuff because we've seen plenty of signs of it when it comes to celebrities, powerful people, politicians, businessmen, stuff like that. We've seen it plenty of times. We've seen the signs. We've seen reports, you know, but It's like collectively, we won't believe it unless we're actually told that that's what happened. Like for years, we knew what R. Kelly was up to. Years, we knew that. And we've seen signs from other people that are like predators and stuff like that when it comes to children and stuff. Shit. There's actually a FBI list out that shows you like the terms that these people use. And we've seen them. We've seen these celebrities and stuff like that use these terms on posts that they make and stuff like that with certain symbols and stuff. We've seen that in children's movies and shows and stuff like that. We see this stuff. But it's like we won't collectively believe it unless we're told to believe it, unless we're told that it's true. And when it gets to that point is when they can't spin the story no more because the person has absolutely been caught and the story can't be spun no more. Or, you know, the people in charge can't use their leverage or their money or their influence or their power to get the people in the media to spin the story anymore. They're absolutely caught. The mainstream media is not on our side. It's not. It never has been. Because there are powerful individuals in place that control the stories that we're fed. Like I said in this clip, we will only believe it when we're told to believe it. We've seen plenty of TV. We've seen plenty of movies. We've seen plenty of real life situations where things couldn't get spinned anymore. Things couldn't get hidden anymore. So we had no choice but to hear the truth. But the truth would still be spinned in some sort of way. Shit, you got the Jeffrey Epstein shit. All the shit that they've made documentaries on him on several platforms. Even the woman, Ghislaine Maxwell. The Epstein Island. You got controversy around the Oprah school. Her school in Africa, where there was child molestation and all that other stuff. We have clear examples, clear information out here, but we will only believe it unless we're told to believe it, unless we're told to be outraged about it. I came across a story, and like I said, I consider all news. I don't care where it's from. And this one was from Fox News. I don't care where the information come from. I'm going to look into it. And it says the Gates Foundation funds millions to NGO claiming kids born sexual. 10-year-olds should learn about commercial sex work. It says the sex ed says kids under 10 should learn as you grow up. You might start to be interested in people with diverse gender identities. And this came from Fox News. And I know everybody got something to say about Fox News. But I looked at the article. It says the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation donates millions annually to a non-governmental organization which claims that children are born sexual and should learn about commercial sex work under 10 years of age. The International Planned Parenthood Federation, IPPF, a separate entity from the U.S. nonprofit, wields significant influence on global sex education. The NGO comprises 120 independent organizations in over 146 countries and has received, including its European network, over $80 million from Gates. Other significant donors included the World Health Organization. But of course, since it's coming from Fox News Network, most people won't believe it. Even though they have direct confirmation that is actually happening. And this is what I say. People get so caught up into their biases and all that other stuff that they don't want to consider every source. But I'm going to move from that. Interesting topic that I came across. It says Roman Polanski's child rape victim, Samantha Geimer, visited him in Paris and posed for a photo. Polanski's wife, Emanuela Segner, reposted the photo. Segner once interviewed the now adult victim that ran on a French publication. Geimer says the rape doesn't define her, and Polanski, quote, paid his debt to society, end quote. Polanski drugged and raped Geimer when she was 13 in 1977. Polanski is currently a fugitive after he pled guilty to unlawful sexual intercourse with a minor and fled the country before sentencing. Sentencing. I'm just, oh my goodness. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But more on that, it says, this is a reminder that director Roman Polanski fled the United States in 1978 after pleading guilty to unlawful sexual intercourse after drugging and raping 13-year-old Samantha Geimer. He has gone on to make many films since, and in 2003 won an Academy Award for Best Picture. Do I need to say more? If you remember, Roman Polanski was in one of the Rush Hour movies. I forget which one it was. I think it was the one, whichever one was when they went over to France. I don't know if that was 2 or 3, but he was in that. But see, shit that we just let go. But yeah. Here's another story I came upon. But this one has kind of been out there for a while. It says, according to the Hollywood Reporter, disgraced Ellen DeGeneres is being forced to step down from her show after 19 seasons due to several accusations of sexual harassment, groping, and other forms of misconduct. A former Warner Brothers employee who worked with the Ellen show said the company, quote, turns a blind eye, end quote, to the alleged misconduct because the series, quote, is a cash cow, end quote. And this is celebrities, people in power and stuff like that. And this ain't even talking about the regular normal people out here that's just straight pedophiles, perverts, and predators. Another story. Catholic priests in France will be forced to wear scannable QR codes to signal whether they are sex offenders as part of a national crackdown on abuse. They not getting removed from being priests, not getting fired or not even suspended. They just getting QR codes so you can scan it. Oh, you still cool with us, but we just gonna do this for, PR purposes. This is the world we live in. So I'm about to play this clip for y'all. Bear with me. I'm about to play this clip for y'all. All right. Oh, man. Let me find the clip. Let me see. Let me find the clip. Where is it? It's a cold world we live in. Cold world. Where's the clip? Where's the clip? Where's the clip? Is it coming up? I'm scrolling through my personal text messages to myself with with topics. Damn, did I pass it? Let me see. I don't think I passed it. Let me see. Damn, I might have passed. Yeah, I think I passed it. Let me see. Let me find this clip. Dang, where is that damn clip? Okay, here you go. But shoot, I'm going to have to pause this because I got to go to the bathroom. All right, I'll be right back. See, I was about to sacrifice my bladder, but to just rush through the show, but I was like, nah, I got, you know what I'm saying, I gotta give y'all a good show. So here go the clip right here. Let me pull this up. I found it. Here we go right here. Yeah, this is sick right here. All right, let me pull this up.
Step to be.
As teenagers, you're always thinking, I'm so fat.
There have definitely been times that I've looked in the mirror and hated what I see.
This is a baby step to becoming more accepting of who you are.
Being naked is not a bad thing at all.
0, please. Idiot!
I think it's time that we see what real male bodies look like.
Whoa, naked men.
Do you know what? Your happiness shouldn't be reliant on whether you have this perfect shape.
A groundbreaking new series, Naked Education, starts Tuesday at 8 on Channel 4. All episodes available after on all 4.
And I'm assuming this is a British show, but the show is grown men showing their naked bodies to children. It says, quote, being naked is not a bad thing at all, end quote. Normalizing all bodies, a groundbreaking new series, Naked Education, starts Tuesday at 8 p.m. This show is literally grown men showing their bodies to kids. This is the world we live in. This is the world we live in. And I've talked about before those situations where they have the trans people. I don't know if it's not trans, but the what's the people that dress up in the men that dress up in the women's clothing, the drag queens coming to the schools, reading children's books and stuff like that, and thinking that stuff is normal or whatever. And it's been a lot of blowback with that, as well as people supporting it. Like, this is the world we live in, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, come on, bro. Like, what are we doing? All right. Now, I came across this. It says the AOC, Alexandria, I forgot her name, the congresswoman. I don't know if she's a senator or whatever, but she's in Congress. The AOC, the one from New York, the Latino one. This is from her. She says, AOC says straight men are the real predators and are a danger to women and children, not trans and LGBTQ people. Like, this is the world we live in, the pandering and stuff, and the narrative, pushing narratives and stuff like that. It's like, this is just like off the wall type shit. I came across another clip today, and I think I'm going to end off right here. But this is a clip. Yeah, this is from a school board meeting. And it says, school board cuts dad off when he reads the very book that is in the school library for 10-year-olds. So I'm gonna play the clip, and you're gonna hear what the dad says. This is a black dad. And this is the Asheville City Board of Education. So let me pull this up.
Last name is my name is John Amanchukwu, as stated earlier. It's called It's Perfectly Normal for Students 10 and Up. This book details all kinds of sexual images, pictures of elderly people nude, pictures of an individual who's in a wheelchair with his penis out. All of these sexual pornographic images are made available and placed at the fingertips of children. And I'm sure, Dr. Cruz, I don't know if you knew about this before you signed on, but hopefully this is something that you can address and deal with, because this is immoral and asinine to allow children to be able to see this. Also, this book even shows images of two women having sex, a man and a woman having sex, and two men having sex. That's not perfectly normal. Who decides what's normal? Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? Or do parents decide what should be placed at the fingertips and allowed to be taught to their children in this school system? I'll read some of this for you. It says, after a bit, a person's vagina becomes moist and slippery, and the clitoris becomes hard. After a bit, a person's penis becomes erect, stiff, and larger.
Pastor.
Sometimes a bit of clear fluid that may contain a few sperm comes out of the tip of the penis and makes it wet.
Can we, sir, I'm sorry.
Was it something I said? Was it something I said? If you don't want to hear it in a school board meeting, why should children be able to check it out of the school system? You see, we have perverts that are perverting our kids. And you all sit back smug in your chairs and celebrate diversity, equity, and inclusion, but you don't want me to read it so you can hear it. Why? Does it bother you? Yes or no? You can't answer that question. You want to know why? Because politically speaking, you can't say that it's wrong. You probably are a Christian man, but many Christians today have become more Democrat than Christian. Some Republicans have become more Republican than Christian. I'm not trying to win an election. I don't get my talking points from the RNC or the DNC. I get my talking points from the Bible, from the Bible. And you don't want me to read the...
And I ain't trying to get all religified and all that other stuff. And it ain't, like I said, people can do whatever the hell they want to do. That's how I see it. But when there's so many people out here talking about there ain't no agenda being placed upon kids and stuff like that, there is. This is a book, a literal book that's in the school system. Not every school system, but I've heard this is not a new story for me. I've heard this before. But we are over-sexualizing kids in order to push an agenda. This is predatory. But like he said, a lot of stuff is being politicized and all that other stuff. People trying to advance and to get in a certain position and stuff like that. And they'll pander to these perverted and predatory agendas and stuff. And it's wrong. It's just straight
because
up.
It exposes the truth. How dare you tell me to stop reading it? If you don't want to hear it, why should the children have to see it?
Pastor, your time is up. Thank you.
Let's be real. It's going too far. Like, it's predatory. Like, I'm gonna keep saying this, I'm all for people doing whatever they want to do with their life, live their life however you want to do. But when you get to this predatory shit, this pedophilia shit, this agenda shit, this pushing a narrative, I have a problem. I gotta say something. And it's wrong. But I'm gonna leave it there. I ain't got no song to end the podcast off of this topic. But, when it comes down to it, this whole society, not just the black community, is overly sexualized. Like, most recently, Janelle Monáe been coming out and showing her titties and all that other stuff, and like, she went from the suit and ties and dancing and stuff to, showing her ass and titties the past couple of years. And this is like a clear example. Like, that stuff sells. That stuff makes you popular. That stuff makes you go viral. I don't know what her position is or what she's trying to do or whatever, and I'm not trying to point fingers at her or blame her or anything, but you see the trajectory of her career now that she's been showing ass and titties, as opposed to when she first came out and she was wearing suits and bow ties and stuff. We are overly sexualized through the entertainment industry. But like I said, people aren't necessarily bad or good, you know. We live in a predatory society. People usually will choose themselves first in a selfish manner that's beneficial for them and at other people's expense. This is the program that we live in. I mean, if you want me to get all conspiracy theoried up, this is the Matrix, you know. There's a lot. All of us are selfish in some type of way. All of us are predators in some type of way when it comes down to the definitions of predator. A person or group that plunders, pillages, or robs. A person, group, or business that exploits, victimizes, or preys on others. An overbearing, greedy, or selfish person. So, like I said in the beginning, you got to ask yourself, is it just animals that are predatory in nature? Or is it humans as well? Are we predatory in nature? We got to ask ourselves that. Because in some point in time in our lives, we were considered a predator. This is a Taste to Consider podcast. I'm your host, Derek Silver, and I'll talk to you soon.